Hey, welcome back to another episode of Wray's Garage, where today we're going to try an experiment. And if this goes well, we may only try part one, but part two would be to extract the whole mirror so I can pull out the glass and whatnot to get this lens replaced. I need to do it on both sides. It's just, here, I'll take a picture for you. It's just aged. It's gotten hit a couple times. And so I just want to get that replaced, and I'm waiting on parts, and I'm sure I'm not the only one in here in 2021 anyway. So my understanding is I just need to pop off this mirror. I do have a towel down here because I'm bound to drop it. And then behind there should be just some Torx T15s, T20s to take out the motor, a couple of cable connectors that we'll need to maybe label, and hopefully that allows me to just undo the 3 or 4 screws I expect to be holding this in. Now, if this doesn't work or doesn't go well for any reason, because I do have the door cards off currently, I could just take the 3 Torx screws out of here, disconnect the power, and take off the whole unit if that would be easier. But one thing I haven't seen is anybody be willing to show this getting popped out. So I imagine this is a fairly traumatic thing to see and nobody wants to video it, but I'm going to give it a whirl. To do so, I'm going to take pry tools, pretty standard pry tools, and you know, say my prayers, I guess. I'll start with this large one here and see if I can just get behind it and just pop it off. Alright, so yeah, you absolutely can. That was wildly painless. So I'm sure I've broken something, or I can't see what that is quite yet. And then behind here, you've got these, looks like these spade type connectors that are plugged into the board. They are identical. So unlike a lot of the Mercedes things, which are color coded and then dotted really nicely, this is slightly different. So I'm going to have to mark top and bottom, and then I'll disconnect this connector here, which now, I'm not sure if that'll be easier to see. You can see I've got access to some of these Torx screws, and hopefully when I get behind all this junk, I'm going to have access to the screws holding this in. So when I forget later, blue is top, Wray. Okay. It's really oversized piece, not necessary. We're all good now. Okay, so I'm going to try it by going at these rearmost screws and see if that so I can avoid taking off the interior ones there. Maybe they'll all come off together. Oh, there they go. So there appear to be 3 of these guys. Another connector there for the motor down in this corner, a little black doohickey. It's pretty snug. Then, looks like 1, 2, 3 screws to get to this back part. Do those right now. So these are black screws, hopefully I can remember that. That didn't seem to free much up. I wonder if I do have to rip off the whole unit after all. Let's see. Maybe there's another screw I can't see quite yet. This connector looks, yeah, that wasn't one of the horrific Mercedes connectors in there, so let's get that out of the way. Here's our motor unit. Looks in good nick, other than being a bit dusty. Well, so now I know that black unit stays in there. So there's a little black mobile socket, and then there's the like housing. But the white part's the one that's coming out, and it's just on a 2-prong affair, which was just really committed to staying together. Get these wires out of the way if I can. Okay, so that's the whole unit removed, and actually there's a plug in here that is just guided by being on, that sits on the back side. So I'll show you later. I'll take a picture of it. I'm not futz with the camera too much. Okay. Then in here we have what appears to be 2 Phillips. Ha! Never knew Mercedes even knew what a Phillips head was. Okay, so I was curious if you could do this from in a slightly easier way, because it seems like taking the whole unit apart's quite extreme. But extreme it is. I don't have the perfect size Phillips head. Alright, all being well, let's see. Whoa, still pretty. I'm just gonna give it a push. There we go, it just was nicely in there. But alright, so this was next, right? We just have to watch for that going into.
This one, just that one pulled back.
I think it just sits in there. It's like a home. And then I want it aligned, and then right.
Snug.